this issue that you have raised. Sir, your response on what has been said by the panelist and the new India that we need to create from within.
Yeah, let's look at what is the core of the problem. Is that India stands to lose about $50 billion of exports to US because of the Trump tariffs. And if we compromise on that, and then we compromise on everything that the Prime Minister talked about, which is throwing our MSMEs and farmers and the vulnerable classes under the bus, which this country refuses to do. In addition, we also have $100 billion of trade deficit with China, which is huge, which is a humongous trade deficit. So if we want to, let's say, find out alternate ways of making sales to compensate for the loss of this $50 billion that we are selling to US, we need to find other markets. Now, China is not the other market. It's very clear. It is already weaponized trade. Russia is not too big a market. Europe has put up massive walls. They have started putting anti-dumping duties against Indian producers. So where do we find this market? That market has to be found internally. And when it finds a market internally, it also has to displace imported goods. Now, much of the imported products that you see can easily be made in India, maybe a few rupees more. And those products are being sold largely from China at a few rupees less, subsidized by their government. The pricing has been weaponized, and we are not able to do much about it. Now, a very simple question that people keep asking is that why can't the government ban the imports of these goods? Now, we cannot do that because we're a signatory to the WTO. We simply cannot go and ban it. Under WTO, there are three mechanisms given, largely, which is the anti-dumping duties, the quality control orders, and the quantitative restrictions. Now, those are being applied, but those are very timely, they're very time-consuming procedures, and therefore the government just cannot stop it. If you notice, the Prime Minister's voice had a sense of urgency in it. He wanted to have the people respond, because unless the people reject, the government, unfortunately, because of agreements already signed, cannot stop these imports from coming in. So unless we displace the imports coming in, which are not sophisticated imports, which are very simple imports, which can easily be built within this country, we will not be able to find market for our products, which are now getting displaced from other markets. In addition, there was an important point that both Mr. Sumit Peer and Dr. Kohli mentioned, which is about supply chain resilience. Time and again, China is using it as a threat against India. They have used it as a threat against US, which is one of the reasons why US is not able to do much against China. We do not have such a leverage. We are not core in supplying anything that's going to impact a large industry. When China stopped the supply of rare earth magnets, it brought the US automobile industry to its knees. It also impacted Indian automobile industry, including two-wheelers, including EVs, and so on and so forth. But if you look at India, except for barytes and guar gum and so on, we do not really have much that we can use as a leverage in supply chain. And therefore, it is very critical, as both Sumit Peer and Dr. Sharad Kohli mentioned, that we need to have our own supply chains. We need to find right from the minerals to the processing, to the sub-assemblies, subsystems, and the final products. And that's where the Prime Minister's message was directly to the citizens. Please actively avoid imported goods. It's going to compromise our sovereignty. There was no other words that one could say, because that would go against the WTO principles. We need to create the market here for our products. And because we've got a large market, we'll have the economies of scale to be able to reduce the cost of our products and then unleash those same products to the rest of the world. So that was a sum and substance from an economic perspective of what the Prime Minister said today.
Can you get one small point?
All right, quickly, Sumit. We have run out of time.